The racetrack started in 1957. There was some guys ahead of that raced on the road and whatnot. They were young guys. Most of them, Marvin Stryker and that, never even had a license. They weren't old enough. But anyway, it basically started from that. The English church minister, Father Belway, got it going, but it really didn't turn into anything. And then some of us older guys, we used to go to Digney Speedway in Aurora and Seattle. So we decided we'd make our own track. And God had a taxi business in Agassiz. He gave us some land we could use down. It was around the Burro Pit. And the Burro Pit was when they built the dike. That's what they took the soil. So we had our super elevated corners. They were just a beautiful place, but it had water in the center of it. That was one thing you had against us. And what we had to do to fix the track, RC&R was a logging outfit just above Harrison, and they had an old Champion horse grader. Like originally it was pulled with horses, but Bruce Campbell, they had a 6x6 logging truck, so we used it, and we got the old grader down there, and then we put the track in, and pardon me for laughing, it's quite comical when I think about it. And then when Bruce couldn't pull it, Siggy Martin had a Royal Jubilee Ford tractor, and there was one other farmer it took two Ford tractors to pull it. And then we shaped the track and had a few races there, and probably the funniest thing that happened, Bruce Campbell had his 41 Ford out there before he had a roll cage in it even, and he rolled it. So anyway, it was kind of harem-scarum. And then Keith Hardy, he had built a good car. It ended up, he nerfed Larry Vogstead into the center, which I told you about the water. So his Ford got mighty wet, and so did Larry, but it all worked out. It was about a year and a half we had it, and then Abbey lost the land to a finance company, so then we were without a track, but we had $200 and some, and the car club we had then was called Piston Pilot. So we put money in the account in the bank for when they started again, they would have an account and everything. So years passed, and we kept looking for land, and the Rod and Gun Club was up by the graveyard, and it had been kind of let go. A lot of the old rod and gun guys were First World vets. They had died off.
This is the graveyard up on the hillside.
Up on where it is now. We were wondering how could we get that land, but it had gone to rack and ruin. The leaves had grown up into alders, broken bottles and everything. We decided, well, if we all join the Rod and Gun, there's not that many left. We should be able to swing a deal with the council. And the town fathers were really good. They knew we had lost the other track, and we got an agreement from them. And one alderman, Norman Morrow, the old plow guy, he was quite a character. And what he said to us, like we were one of the guys who went to the meeting, if you don't break your necks, that'll be fine. We told him what rules, we're using rules from Digney Speedway, and it's going to be safe, and everything would be fine, and people could go up there and their kids could learn to drive. So anyway, they allowed us to go up there, and then when we laid it out, the only way we could do it, it was uphill a little bit the way, and we had to turn it. We just had a little loader at the time, so anyway, the first year we started to make it was 1970, and we had to go around 3 old-growth fir stumps. So we had to make, it was only 3/10 of a mile long, but we couldn't make it any larger because of these big stumps. And I thought, well, someday we'll get some powder and we'll fix some stumps. But right now we'll get racing, which we did. It was in June we had our first race. Our first spectators were real good. They were the Doukhobor people that lived down at the bottom of the hill. It was more or less just a donation. It was just a fun, it was always a fun track.